Hello Dynamics family, Mariana here. Just another vehicle video. Now this one is about waiting. Waiting in general. I'm actually going to do it like a podcast and or a blog because there's so much in the waiting time of something that I think needs to be addressed a little bit further. And what do you do and how do you wait better? Now, this one is about being with my daughter, and so I thought I would go in with her this time because it's a specialist. And so I thought, okay, I'll go into the office with her and I'll just wait there, 10 or 15 minutes and we should get called. Okay, so it's been, quarter after 10 we arrived because you have to be there 15 minutes ahead of time to make sure that you do the paperwork. And now it is 5 after 12 and she just got called in. So give it another 10 minutes and it would have been 2 hours. We would have been in that office waiting. Now, the thing about waiting that I want to talk about in this specific instance is the people in the waiting room. Now this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chairs across, and there is at least 6 or 7 rows of them, and that's on each side. So there's a few doctors and specialists in there. So there's enough room, and there's space, this 6 feet apart that you're supposed to have, but there's a lot of chairs in there. And so we chose a spot, and then there's an adult that decided that they wanted to make a phone call on speakerphone and talk to whoever they were talking to out loud, so basically almost everyone in the office could hear. So then I was like, okay, maybe it's going to be a short conversation. Like maybe they forgot earphones, maybe they forgot just to put it up against their ear instead of having it on speakerphone blasting. So then to counteract that noise, there's people sitting behind us, and they decided that they were going to blast some kind of cartoon because it was a mom with a younger daughter. I don't know, she could have been 10, something like that, maybe a little older. So to counteract this conversation that we were hearing, this other person behind us started with cartoons. No speaker, no headphones, no anything, just full blast through the speaker. So behind us is this, over here is this person talking in the conversation. So I was just like, okay, let's just move, because obviously this side, even though it's a big room, this side is having a competition of noise. Let's go over to the other side. So we go over to the other side, and it's good. And then someone decides in front of us, or to come sit in front of us, and then they decide to watch some of the clips on whatever. And it was from the Super Bowl, because you could hear the Super Bowl, the cheering and the football, and then the other things, the halftime show and the rap and all of that was on there. So we're just like, again, no speaker, no nothing, just on their phone blasting, like earphones, no earbuds, earpods, anything. Just like, okay, everybody in this office waiting room just wants to hear. Now this is after being in there for almost an hour. So I don't know about you and waiting for a long time to see a doctor or a specialist, and I get they want to be thorough or whatever the reason is, where they were late getting there, or one patient is taking a little bit longer with them than the other, and then they just it just goes behind. That's why hint number 1, if you're going to any kind of doctor, get them right in the morning, you know, your first hour that they show up. So you ask the receptionist, and if that means you have to wait a couple of days or a week more just to get that morning appointment, you will save yourself a lot of time. I've been doing this for years and I've learned this, but in this case, this was a specialist. They gave her the appointment, my daughter, and we didn't really have a choice unless she wanted to wait another 2 weeks. And in this case, she didn't. So we thought, okay, quarter after 10 in the morning, getting there for the 10:30 appointment shouldn't be too long because they just started at 8. So that's only 2.5 hours, you know. So whatever reason, this doctor, this specialist could not get there on time, not sure, and or, you know, do the patients as needed. Who knows? We get it. Some days are worse than others. We get that. Again, some people take longer, you know, situations that we don't even know of, and certainly they're not even letting us know that or updating us at all. And several people had gone up to the counter and just gone, when is it my turn? You know, when is it my turn? Because I've been waiting here an hour, you know. And so again, she finally went in, and now I'm just waiting. So I'm doing this vehicle video, so I'm just waiting to hear what kind of results are going to give her. Does she have to go for something more? Does she have to do it? Now, I want her to be able to deal with things, so I wasn't going in the office with her, in the actual office to talk to them. I would wait for her. I would in the waiting room with her because it was a big area. But most of the time now I just send my daughter in. I mean, she's 22. She can figure it out, and she has to, you know, do adulting stuff. So, and quite understand and ask the proper questions and all that there. But I will get back to doing, like I said, some kind of blog or some kind of podcast, or do even some interviews that I know that people, even when you're waiting for results, when you're waiting for a call, when you're waiting for an email, when you're waiting for a text, when you're waiting for anything, whether it's at the doctor's or for educational test, for a job interview, or the result of a job interview, when you've put in an essay and you're waiting to see the mark on it. You know, there's all these things that people wait for, like wait. So I'm going to do some more research. I'm going to get some more clarity on it. I'm going to get some more peace about waiting and how to wait better. Now, I know a lot of times I've done these vehicle videos while I wait and use the best use of my time during waiting. But this time I thought I would just do a little bit different to support her. And so I found myself getting sort of aggravated. It's my aggravation to own being in there waiting until I could come out here again and just be out of that energy. So I will do some more research. I'll find a way to find some kind of peace and some way to, again, just do waiting better. So if you have any ideas along the way, just comment below or personal message me, direct message, whatever it might be. But I appreciate, how do you wait well? So, you know, I know people have books in there and they have this and that and whatever it might be because they just expect that, but maybe I didn't pre-pave a little bit better. Maybe I need to be clear with my expectations. They're the type of things that I'm going to try to find better peace around. So until we see each other again, and next time, make it a dynamic day, because I certainly will after this. And thanks for letting me share about this. Make it a dynamic day. Bye for now.